Let me start by asking you about what magic words you whispered in the ear of Ford management to get them to return.
Oh, we just spoke about the amazing initiatives of the Chief Minister over the past 3 years, and then the kind of DEI steps that we have taken in Tamil Nadu, and how Tamil Nadu is the front runner when it comes to manufacturing in India, how Tamil Nadu is the engine that's powering India's growth story today. We spoke about how 43% of all the women working in India are from Tamil Nadu in the organized sector. And these are numbers that any investor would love. We spoke about how we are leaders. 57% of our energy is green. We spoke about how our infrastructure is robust. Tamil Nadu being the most
Minister
urbanized
Rajaa,
state.
forgive me for interrupting you.
On. Yes.
Forgive me for interrupting you, but did you offer any specific incentives to Ford to return? Because they didn't have, a very good experience in terms of their own domestic market exploitation in the past years. Now they want to make it an export base. What more can you tell us about the timeline, what they intend to produce there, when they hope to start?
Yeah, incentives is something which we really won't discuss on a live platform, but that's something which when Tamil Nadu promises something, it delivers, and that's what is more important for any investor. So the kind of incentives that we have spoken about, we will be going into details even further, going through the next few months. They are yet to decide on the kind of manufacturing and the type of manufacturing that they're going to do here. So once they come back to us, we'll be going into details about that. Yeah, and more than anything else, the talent pool that's here, that's what is attractive for Ford.
Allow me to press a little further, not just on the incentives for Ford, but what Tamil Nadu has on offer, because several states in India are rolling out the red carpet for investors, both local and foreign. What is it that you're doing differently to get this variety from Cisco to JLR to Ford?
We're talking about our strengths. We're just straight talking about our strengths. The kind of talent pool that's available, the kind of engineers. We roll about 150,000 engineers every year, and we skill them to the requirement of the investor. We have an amazing scheme called the Non-Mudalman scheme, which is one of the biggest upskilling scheme in the country. And that's working fabulously well with the investor, with the manufacturing fraternity. They come to us, they tell us exactly what kind of talent they need, and the output that's delivered from that talent, it's global standards. And that's why today, from Michelin to Saint-Gobain or any of these other massive industries that are here, they compare manufacturing in Tamil Nadu to global scales. So yeah, there you have it.
Minister, you talked about how Ford has yet to decide on what it will manufacture in its plant in Chennai. I'm just wondering, would it make sense for Ford to actually manufacture EVs, given India's own EV push? And might it manufacture EVs for not just domestic, but international market?
Well, if you go with the trend and what you see, the kind of investments that have come into Tamil Nadu over the past few years, like Tata Motors have brought their EV line also coming into Tamil Nadu. We just opened that factory. We just broke ground 2 days back. VinFast is already here, and as an auto capital of India, as the electronics capital of India, and as of now the EV capital of India, Tamil Nadu produces about 40% of all the EVs sold in India. We produce about 70% of all the two-wheelers sold in India. So they do know that the EV ecosystem is ripe. And I can tell you that, yeah, the discussions are also on those lines.
Minister Rajaa, when it comes to one of India's biggest, newest focuses, that's the semiconductor area, Gujarat seems to have taken the lead. What are you doing to be able to close that gap? Are you building out a semiconductor ecosystem of your own in the state? And not just semiconductors. What is your focus here on for new investments, local or foreign? Will it be industry-specific or district development-specific? If you can talk us through the future strategy.
Tamil Nadu is all about distributed growth, and the Honorable Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has always been talking about distributed growth across the state. So yes, every district has its own strength, and we will be playing to that, yes. About the semiconductors, we already are going towards design, we're going towards compound semiconductors. We lots of discussions on that space, and you will hear something very, very good very soon. And our focus would be on the design side and compound semiconductors. I would also love to have life sciences into my kitty. That's something which we're really going after for quite some time now. We want to increase our life sciences portfolio. R&D is our strength. We're playing to our strength. We have the highest number of PhDs in India. We have the highest number of patents registered last year. So yes, we are playing to our knowledge economy strength.
I must also ask you, Minister, about the Samsung strike. Close to 1,500 workers in that plant in Tamil Nadu have been striking work for almost a month now. How do you view this demand for higher wages, which is excellent from an employee welfare point of view? But what's also happening with many other investors in Tamil Nadu is they do feel that labor costs have gone up considerably, and they're now looking at several northern states to be able to expand their operations in.
I'll keep it brief on that one because Samsung, from its side, is ready to give whatever the demand is, whatever the right demand is, and they are more than willing to give the kind of increased wages that they're asking. It's a discussion that's going on. There is a bit of a glitch from both sides. We've been in talks with both sides. It should be over very soon. Most of them are returning. And they've started to understand that Samsung itself is willing to talk, and they're very open to talking to their employees. The key word is their employees.
I have one last question for you, Minister. I understand that. I have one last question for you, Minister, and that is, what can we expect in the next few years from Tamil Nadu in terms of policy, in terms of incentives? Because investors probably come to you with a list of demands, and I'd also like to know what their perspective is about investing in India. How much have we been able to capitalize on the China Plus One opportunity?
Absolutely, China Plus One is what is driving India today, in my view, and especially for Tamil Nadu. That's a great growth story. If you look at going ahead, we would love to have something on the RE space. Also, offshore wind is taking off big time, and there's loads of interest from investors abroad. And investors have also seen the quality of output coming out of India now. That was a bit of an iffy thing before, but now they do see that the quality that's coming out of India in many ways is much better than China. Also, some of the Japanese customers that we have, some of the Japanese investors that we have, send their teams here to Chennai to look at the high parts per billion that we hit when in our manufacturing. So the quality of manufacturing in India, that I think is key. We are thinking globally, and we are also acting globally. We are also producing to global standards, and that is what is key, I think.
Right. So taking a global perspective, you've already attracted Ford, VinFast, any other auto companies that you are actively pursuing to encourage them to come to Tamil Nadu?
Well, I think any auto investor who's coming into India today would first step into Tamil Nadu because of our strength as the auto capital of India. We have the ecosystem in place. Yes, we are talking to a few, but I think, you do know there's a huge bit of competition, especially between 2-3 states. So we would like to keep our cards close to our hearts.
One final question. What's the biggest risk in doing business, not just in Tamil Nadu, but in India? There's been so much optimism. We talk about in the market, for instance, how valuations have escalated. What's the biggest risk you think in doing business in India right now?
Personally, I don't see any risk at all when it comes to, especially when you're manufacturing in Tamil Nadu. The global business scenario is shifting, and India is an undeniable force. And I don't think any risk is big to deny entry into India. So I'm thinking, no, there is no risk into stepping into India, for sure, especially Tamil Nadu.
All right.